Welcome to my exceptionally low budget, low tech presentation here on the two collaborative web based assignments. Uh, I do this in all my classes. You're looking at a U.S. history class from an earlier semester as a sample, but whether it's U.S. history, Western Civ, or world history, all of which I teach, the assignment is the same, just the content and the subject matter is different. But of all the assignments that come up in my class, it's the web-based assignments, of which there are always two, that cause the most confusion among students. So this is the first time I'm actually doing this video, trying to bring some clarity. Uh, however, you can find the basic instructions in the syllabus itself. There's also a syllabus video. If you haven't seen it already, check that out. And it's about an hour long, and there's a large chunk of time in there where I talk about this exact assignment. My computer is doing strange things on me today, but if you scroll down far enough, please stand by. It goes through all the assignments, homework, mini exams. Not all of these necessarily are in your class. Collaborative web-based assignments always are, and so the assignment is explained there. So there are multiple places to kind of find the assignment or find the instructions to the assignment, and we're going to kind of go through those. So if you just go to assignments, it's always a helpful place to go in a Canvas-oriented class, because if it under assignments is anything that's graded, including exams. So if you're ever confused, not just about the web-based assignments, but about homework assignments, if those are relevant, exams, like when things are due, when we're taking the exam, you can always just click on the exam. In this case, we're looking at the web-based assignments. One of the sources of confusion for students on this, I guess the first place to start, is that there are two web-based assignments, a first collaborative web-based assignment, as I call it, and a second collaborative web-based assignment, as I call it, and there are two parts to each one. So there are the written answers and other things that go with it, we'll see, and discussion groups. Right, this is so the first assignment is in two parts. With regard to the discussion group part of it, which we'll go to in a second, if you click on that, you can also find the basic instructions, which are pretty much the same or exactly the same as what you just saw on the syllabus. But it's another place you can go to sort of find the basics, which is also true of the part that's the written answers. So each web-based assignment, again, there are two of them. We spend a number of weeks working on and completing the first one, and then move on to the second one and spend weeks doing that. The first part of the assignment is an ongoing discussion group where you post things to your group's board. I randomly assign students to groups, and so it's from a website we'll see you go to, but you post stuff there and comment on other people's posts, and in the instructions it tells you what the minimum number of posts and comments you make on other people's posts that are required in that number of weeks. After that, or you can sort of be working on it as you go along, this part is, again, group oriented. The second part of the assignment, submitted at the end, usually, are written answers to 5 questions that I've posed and that are related to the same subject that you've been discussing for weeks before that in your respective groups. So if you click on first collaborative web-based assignment, it has all kinds of things, including, although you don't see that here because this is an old one, it's already been submitted and everything was closed. This is a summer class, but somewhere here, I forget, here on the right upper right hand side, there's a blue box that says submit. You're probably familiar with this if you've taken other classes. Most of you have, where the instructor used Canvas. So when you're ready, usually again it comes at the very end to submit your written answers that you've typed up. you go to this collaborative web-based assignment. If it's the second one, it's the second collaborative assignment. Submit answers and hit the box, and you can either cut and paste it, or use a Word document, PDF. There's various options. The submit tab will open up a box, and however you submit it, you put it in that box and hit send. But this also, if you click on, again, under assignments, you can find it also in modules. So on the left-hand side, assignments, modules, usually kind of about when it's due, because on modules, I have everything organized week by week, week 1, week 2, week 3. So whenever it's due, whatever week that is, you probably find this there. But you don't need to go there. You can, because I think the most appropriate place to look for it would be under assignments. So when you're ready to submit, upper right-hand corner, blue tab, but that's after you've done all this. You've read the description of the assignment. You've looked at the directions for the assignment, right? And here's part 1 and part 2. This tells you the specifics on the discussion board and what you have to do in your group, the type of comments you have to make, how many. Part 2 is about the written answers themselves from the 5 questions. And lo and behold, under that are the 5 questions. So you answer these 5 questions on your own. Now, what are you answering questions about? What are you making posts and comments in your discussion groups about? It's about a website. And at the very bottom of each assignment, whether it's 1 or 2, whichever class you're in, U.S. History, Western Civ, World History, you simply click on the link there, and it takes you right to the website. So students sometimes send me emails freaking out. I have no idea where to find the website. Well, did you go to the instruction page and go to the bottom? It's already right there. And so from within Canvas, you can access. This one was on Ellis Island, the clearinghouse for immigrants from the late 19th century on in New York Harbor, and the assignment was on that. So you access the actual website here. And so the discussion posts that you make, the discussion group you're involved in that's ongoing over weeks, is about the evidence that you find about what was happening at Ellis Island, what was it for, what was its function, kind of the who, what, when, where, why. And the questions that you answer are about that as well. I've written the questions to get you to zero in on this and understand it. The discussion group and the written answers are related because if things go right, they don't always, but if they go right, you should be able to use the discussion group and things that other people said, maybe made comments on one of your posts, and you're kind of learning from them how to navigate something they found that you didn't see, and I went back and found that, and here's what I have to say about it. Thanks for posting that. So from what you learn there and the discussion group, you could think of as you're just kind of piecing things together. You're learning, you're exploring, right? This is the process of kind of exploration, gathering information and evidence with a group. And then the second part of the assignment is sort of writing all that up in a more collected or more organized way and submitting your own individual answers. All right. On the discussion groups, there's nothing to submit, so it's the written answer part of it is the only thing you have to submit an assignment at the end of it. For the discussions, you'll want to go to discussions itself, because we saw, again, to clarify what can be a confusing assignment, why I'm doing this, under assignments. Let's go back to that, even though it's cumbersome and slow today. Just so we get the right idea. Somebody tell a joke or tell a joke to yourself. So on this one, the group portion of each one of the assignments doesn't take you to that. It just gives you kind of the instructions in yet another place. Sometimes I put the full instructions. Sometimes I just put it's the whole one. Sometimes I just put the discussion group portion here since that's what this is about. So that's actually not as useful. But so assignments to find, you can find the description of both parts of the assignment there, the written answers to the discussion group. But to actually get to your discussion group, which you need to, because that's half of the assignment, you click on discussions, and you'd find your group from there. So we're clicking on the second web-based assignment, but it doesn't really matter. And let's see. I think I'm going to have to get out of the student part of this to give you a real view of this, and I think it will be useful. So again, please stand by. Why is this not leaving? Wouldn't you know it? Just wanted to start to record. My computer starts to drastically slow down. So you'll be able to see, because I assign the groups randomly, which discussion group you're in, whether it's 4 or how many. It can vary. So if we go to, let's say you're in group 1, okay? You click on group 1. And here's where another, I think, source of confusion comes in. The way this is designed is a bit confusing, like the canvas, how you navigate it. But once again, you have the whole assignment described here as well. And underneath that, then you start seeing people's posts in your group. So in that case, in that group, I started, hello out there, is anyone home? And within a couple of days, since this takes place over weeks, you don't have to post every day or every minute of every day. But that's basically the size of a post. It should look like that, right? Maybe like that at the least. If it's a comment on someone else's, maybe it can be that long. But I would shoot even for comment because that's the response. A comment on that post as well. So you should think of a post as about that size. And again, in the syllabus, you can find, and on the instructions, you can find exactly how many posts and comments you need to make. But that part's not confusing, and this just keeps going on and on and on. Since we do this for weeks, it ends up being lots of posts. But if you're the first person to post in your group, none of this will be on there. That's why I like to post. I try to post first sometimes so people have something that they want. But what can be confusing is if you want to make your own post, not a comment on someone else's, and if there's nobody that's posted yet, of course it's your own post. There's nothing else to comment on. But you want to find this little reply box with the arrow right here, not the unread section here. Just below my instructions, right? The first reply box, that's where you're going to put something, anything you post. The boxes you see below that, right here, you see another reply, but that would be if you want to reply. You want to reply to my post, and there's no reason to do that. But if you wanted to reply to this student's post, right, as 2 students did, actually they had kind of a conversation, and another student posted. A number of them did, right? But then you'd hit one of these lower replies. So this person here posted, and there's a sort of a thread. So this shows you that if you click on this, and once you click on one of those boxes, it opens up the rich content box, right? And you type your answers in there, or your post in there, and then hit post reply down in the bottom right, and then it goes up as a reply. All right, so again, the point of confusion or source confusion is that sometimes students don't realize that this is the place to go to post something. It's down the ones that say reply that look the same, lower down. The ones that keep going down, those are replies to somebody else, and it'll go right underneath that person's post. Boom, right there. But even after this many are on there, if you're posting something new for you, not commenting on someone else, you still go right back up to this top box. I'm sorry, this top box. I'm confusing myself now, because if you open that up, type in your post and hit post. It says post reply, but it's just a post. That one is going to go all the way to the bottom now, and it'll be in order because it's the latest one to be done. So it'll be put right underneath this one. If you scroll to the bottom before doing that and hit and hit this one, that'll go in as a reply to somebody else's post, which means it'll kind of indent it. It's not that big of a deal, but it's easier for me to keep straight if you put your posts, right, your own posts, if you do it here in the box provided at the very top, even though it doesn't look like it'll show up at the top, it will go to the top. Oh, I had the box open. Where's the reply? So there. So posts here, replies under the person's name and the post that they made you want to reply to. I probably made that more complicated than simplified. But if you listen to this maybe 12 times, you'll understand. But that is a source of confusion. So again, keep in mind, I'm repeating here that the discussion portion of the web-based assignment and the next one, first, second one, is all done here. There's nothing you have to turn in this portion of it. You just keep making posts and comments like you see these students have done here. It's the other second portion, the written answers portion, that you have to actually submit something. When you have to submit the answers to the 5 questions I've posed that are in the directions now you've seen in multiple places. There they are yet again, but you don't need them to here. However, and this also hopefully will clear up a source of confusion, you can certainly use the questions to navigate the website, which is here again on the discussion group. Use the discussion questions to kind of focus your attention, know what to look for on the website, and then talk about it here. But what you absolutely cannot do is answer the questions here, right, during the weeks of discussion that are going on. Right, you see this is a summer class, so July 16th, July 22nd, July 26th, 18th, 18th. These are out of order because some people are commenting on people's earlier posts and then putting their own. July 20th, July 24th, July 22nd, July 28th. So this is over a number of weeks. This was a little shorter because it's a summer school course. But the questions themselves here can be used to help you navigate the website and to talk to other people through comments and posts, things you put in here. But you can't answer the questions here. I mean, you can put some information that end up in the questions, of course. But what happens people often, again, partly because people are confused about the assignment, is that this whole thing was the answer to the first question. Right? And in some ways, this one kind of was, but the student at least changed the answer in the written portion. But because since you're getting points for both parts of this, it wouldn't make sense. You'd like it better that way because it'd be easier for you to write out the answers to the 5 questions in your posts, and then just kind of cut and paste those together and submit them as your written answers. That's not what you're doing. This part of it, the whole discussion group part, should be like rough. You're just sort of learning, exploring, and exploring with other people and throwing around ideas. This should be brainstorming. It doesn't have to be pulled together. Sometimes they are. Students go to great pains, I think, to make these particularly coherent and grammatically correct and okay, but you don't need to really do all that. This is just rough information gathering. Right? You're doing discovery, you're, as I said, brainstorming, and you're not answering the questions, at least, wholesale here. You might be getting pieces of evidence down that you're later going to use. So think of the first part of it as just the opening stages of an investigation, and you're sort of laying down some evidence. The written answers that you submit on your own, right? Your own written answers aren't anybody else's answers; they're yours. And those is when you are required to answer the questions, but not duplicate exactly what you said in one or more of your posts from the discussion group. So assignments. Look for first collaborative web-based assignment discussion groups, first collaborative web-based assignment written answers, and then the same thing with the second collaborative web-based assignment. So there's the written answers for one, and 2. And on here you'll find the instructions, the questions, putting in context, the website itself, and the tab to submit answers. The same with this one from the second website, or the second assignment when that one comes due. And the due dates you can always see here. And there's the first collaborative web-based discussion group. I put group discussion on there, but it's the same thing. And so it's assignments where you really go to navigate this whole thing, and it's here on these that you go to submit the actual answers. I hope that actually helped and didn't confuse you more, but I think more information on this rather than less is better for you. Thank you.